Today I forgot to charge the receiver. But it should be okay because we're usually talking this way, but we'll have to think about it when the camera's away. So you have to say hi. Say hi, Karl.
Hello.
Karl's going to cook dinner today because there's a lot of needle binding and we don't want to get bored. He's going to make us a Christmas special. It's a Norwegian food. He's going to make us turkey breast in a cream sauce with red cabbage, which I'm not going to eat that part, and potatoes. And I believe you're going to be boiling the potatoes today? Yeah, boiled potatoes. I think he can do it. It's in mirror mode. Let's see, hold it like that. And we'll do. Karl is going to make turkey breast. And the gods of Tilbury have decided we could have it because it's 50% off since it's going out of date soon. So there you go, Karl. It's a beautiful dinner you're going to make us. You may begin. You all set for this?
Yeah, it only needs 4 minutes.
He says it only needs 4 minutes. So I'll turn the... Whoop! There goes the phone again. Back this way. One day we're going to be technically savvy. Okay.
Oh, Fuzzy.
Fuzzy wants some too. And he started a nice fire and everything for us. Okay, anyway, I have to say hi to everybody. It took me a little longer. We took a little longer to get set up, but we made it. Let's see. Live chat. So we have Peruta and Audra. They got on early today. No. Fuzzy really, really wants what's in that bag. Why don't you show Fuzzy?
I think Fuzzy just wants the bag.
Yeah.
He likes bags.
We'll take stuff out of the bag and give him the bag. It's got a nice plastic sound to it. He really wants the bag. There's chicken in there. He can't have that. That's for... Yeah, that goes in the fridge. Control the cat, Karl. Control the cat. Karl is slightly pouting because he usually gets the green version of this and it's been sold out all over Norway. Oh, that's right. We got Christmas treats too. I have to turn this. And sugar, because Karl needs sugar. Rampanisser. We have not heard of these before. It looks a little bit like Torben. Doesn't it look like Torben? You don't think so? It's Torben. I think it's Torben. And that could be that could be Karin laughing at him. I don't know, but it's rampanisser. So we're going to eat this. It's like some scum chocolate, which is a great Norwegian translation. Yeah. Skumnisser. We're going to have skumnisser with the taste of vanilla and chocolate. So scum is one of my favorite Nargluj words. My ex-husband used to say likes the scum on the cappuccino the best. Scum means foam. So they're like foam-nisser. Foam elves. Anyway, but rampa-nisser, I have to have Karl just explain a rampa. But rampa-nisser is basically little elves that are up to no good. You can see they're hanging upside down. They're making little jokes. Maybe that's Audra. I think that's Audra. Hee 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 hee. Anyway, so we're going to have these today. We decided we needed to try something new. Let's see. If I can get this to not crinkle so much. Rampenissene våre elsker å bade. Oh, the mischievous little elves of theirs, they like to bathe. Varops plutselig tar de seg et bad I melkeglasset ditt. Be careful because they suddenly decide to take a bath in your milk glass. For alle liker vel sjokolademelk, because everybody likes chocolate milk. So there you go. Oh, there's like a little QR code for those who can be asked. I'm sure it's nothing but sugar. Lots and lots and lots of sugar. There we go. You can see my mess. Okay. It could be you, Audra. Look, she's still giggling over there in the corner. It's Audra. It could be Audra. I could see her doing that. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, I think the sound only works from this direction, so I'll keep the camera in this mode. But I've got pictures from Lukas. Lukas sent us a bunch of pictures. Radispi, which I saw he just logged in recently. So hello. We have to show off his stuff, especially the ones on the cover. They're my favorite. I just want to touch their little bellies and go, wee! Like, anyway, the Americans will know what I mean. It's the, there's a old toilet paper commercial where it was called Charmin, and they said, don't squeeze the Charmin in, because they all want to squeeze the toilet paper in the store because it looks so squeezable. So that's kind of how I see those little dolls he made on the front there. I just want to squeeze them. Okay. Anyhow, so it's been raining here today. The fence blew over. You'll have to tell that story. It was windy yesterday, but we usually thought it was it's a little bit different between where we are, between the mountains and right next to the water. It's only a 5-minute drive, but it's enough to make a bit of a difference in the wind. So since my boss didn't feel the wind in her joints, we thought for sure that it wasn't too windy down there. But when we came to work this morning, the fence had completely blown over. I might even have a picture of that, actually. But it's not in the right mode, so it might cut off. Let's see. If I can go back far enough. There you can see it. The fence completely blew in, are out. And the red things behind there, those are containers. Those are employee housing in the summer. They get their own little container with but yeah, you can see that's what happened today. So they spent most of the afternoon fixing that. But that's this is the first time I've seen the wind blow the walls down in that direction. Usually it blows it towards the container. But up on above the red there looks like there's some posts holding up something. That's a little rain roof, and I have a sneaking suspicion, since that was recently added since the last storm, I suspect maybe that had a spoiler effect, but I don't know. You know, like on the back of a car, you would have like this spoiler. It kind of looks a little bit like that. So if it hit the wall, then knock the whole thing over. But yep. And by the way, the building be on the straight towards the middle left in the back. That would be the kayak center. And no, they still don't have the roof repaired, Albert. And that little teeny tiny house up on Rumzoy, it's like an inlet. Everybody wants that, including myself. So we'll fight for that. But anyway, that's what the wind did today. I think they got it under control, though. Let's see. I'll take you out of green screen mode again. I forgot I had a picture of that on my phone. Let's see. Audrey's here. Prude is here. PJ's here. Robert's here. Let's see what are people doing, actually. Audrey says, I won't be decorating my house with Christmas decorations this year. I'm leaving on Monday and won't be back until December 31st. I thought that would be like Christmas Wonderland at Audrey's house. But no, I get it. You unpack all that stuff just to pack it up again when you're not home. It's not really worth it. But this year I have to drag all mine out because my kids are coming. Albert is here. He got some stuff from Outland, aka otherwise known as also known as More Warhammer. Karl's impressed. Robert says, when I say stuck in traffic, what I actually mean is waiting in a queue of traffic to get out of the shopping mall car park. Yeah, no, handmade gifts is the way to go. You need to be sitting up until like the very last minute before you actually get to wherever you have to deliver the gifts, still working on the last couple of stitches, and then just have to like shopping bag plastic wrap it because you don't have time. That's how I end up doing it. You just kind of like wind up the bag and give it to him here. Let's see. Payday weekend before Christmas, simple as that, really, says Robert. Yeah, that would explain it. In Norway, they get half taxes in November, so this paycheck, which comes a little bit later in December for us, will be a little bit bigger than normal, which is kind of nice. And then they don't shut the stores. Normally, the stores are closed on Sundays. All the shopping stores, etc., are closed on Sundays in Norway. But in this case, in December, they're allowed to keep open. So that should be fun. Najwa is here, and Sergio, hello. And yep, Radisby's here as well. And Roger's here. I'm still catching up. The cabbage tremble in fear as you mentioned Karl's sword. Amber O is here. She made it. Oi, I can see if I can there. Wikivon, full stomach. Husband from the telly, headphones on. Let's go. Woohoo! Husband in front of the telly. Headphones on. Let's go. And Van, wake up. Go outside. I want to go outside, but it is too dark. It's completely black. I can show you. We can see Karl smoking. Let's see. Maybe you can. Well, it's going to be really loud for a second because you'll hear the. You'll hear the mic, or not the microwave. You'll hear the river. They wanted me to go outside, so I'm going outside. Let's see. There's a Karl. And look at the beautiful mountains over there. It's just massively... Wait, there's more mountains over there. There's the sky way up there. And more mountains, more mountains. It's been snowing on the mountains today.
Do you see any mountains?
Nope. What do you think? And there's Karl and I standing in front of the beautiful mountains. No, sorry, but this is why we have to be inside. It's too dark. But anyway, so we saw the beautiful mountains. That was nice. Got a trip through my house. Oh, this is like that picture my kids have to take. They take pictures of me like this. Let's see. There we go. Okay, let's see what else do I got here. Now we went outside. We did it. You can hear the roaring river outside. Susan Youngman is here. Welcome back. She's in Adirondacks. She's got snow tomorrow. Let's see, and Suze is here. Welcome back, Suze. She says, so I'm scouring wool the old way with stale urine as an experiment. It smells just lovely. Laugh out loud. Oh God, I'm so jealous. That's brave though. Holy crap. Wow. That's tough though. I mean, I don't even think I haven't even tried to dye with urine, plant dye with urine yet. I haven't tried that at all. We just buy the ammonia. I should do that. I'm horrible. But there are plenty of people that tried it in the village though. I've got to say they're pretty brave. It does make a nice color though. Heidi Lisa is here. We just saw Runa and cute little Nissa and Louisa. Apparently Runa's going to learn how to play guitar. Louise is making him do it. Let's see. Radisby says, last year I finished making and attaching the pom-pom for my Santa hat just as the car arrived to where we were eating Christmas dinner. So I'm not the only one that's making these things last minute and delivering them in plastic grocery bag. It's beautiful. I made it all by myself. Is that black snow covering the mountains? Why, yes, it is. See, Najwa I think Karl thinks I'm on drugs right now. Raymond Roberts is here. He says, I think more light outside here. There's more light outside where he is. It's after 2 a.m. and this is, of course, in Australia, upside down country. Matthew is here as well. Welcome back. And he says, have you ever smelt each other's farts? Yes. Unwillingly. The cats have worse farts, though. It seems. I don't know why, but the cats' farts always smell worse than our farts. I'm just going to leave that with you to think about. And Sandy Privet is here. She says, yep, that's definitely really dark. Okay, anyway, we should, without further ado, I have to show off the fun stuff that Lukas made. So let's see, I'll do green screen, and I take the microphone will not be in front of me, so hopefully you can still hear. Okay, so look at all the fun stuff he sent. I can turn it this way. Okay, Radisby, you're going to have to, or Lukas, you're going to have to just pipe in whenever you can here. I did take a little bit of notes from the email that you sent. Look at the row height on those stitches. And I was asking him what it was doing. I was wondering if he was doing the Omani stitch. But he says, nope, no Omani stitch. And there's a picture that he's using a bunch of different things, but on the socks and the scarves, he was doing something called 3 + 3 + 3 + 3. That's 4 threes, or 4 + 4 + 4 + 4. And he'll have to explain that one a little bit. He said it's kind of done in a Russian style, but with one more phase. Oh, Karl's serving me dinner here.
Your food.
My food.
It does look kind of uninspired because you didn't want the red stuff. So I brought you some spice.
He brought me spice. Oh, here, I gotta turn off the green screen again. Look, he made me food. Uninspired because I don't like red cabbage. It smells great. I'm gonna enjoy this. Okay. Hang on a minute. I need to find a place for my plate. I didn't think about that. Okay, but there's another spice that fell.
Yeah, I brought you a paprika and gräslök if you
And
want
the good
anything
silver
else.
too. The unmatched good silver. Thank you. Mwah. Should we see how it tastes? There you go. It tastes like turkey. What a good guy I have. Okay. Back to the picture. Talking about mouthful. Okay, I'll get myself out of the way here so you can see it. But yeah, he said it's 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. These are referring to the loops. So you can, if you do the math, that's either 12 or 16 loops. So that's quite a bit of loops, so it's very thick, but he's using a thinner yarn. So it's a good way to use that. He says it's Russian style, but one more phase. So he would have 3 loops on the front of his thumb. If I have my thumb here, 3 loops on the front, 3 loops on the back that are flipping around with 3 loops, another 3 loops, but there's another set of 3 that he's using. But it looks really cool. It looks like it almost looks like the Omani stitch with that row height though. He says it's just barely possible to turn it on the hands and just barely able to make socks with it, but it's so worth it because it's so nice and thick. And he's gonna have a lot of these socks here, as you'll see. There's another one, and he gets a really good fit. And you'll see that it's a I want to call it Claudia. I forgot the name of it. It's suddenly Butner socks, but they're the ones with like the finger heel. There you can see. So I don't know if you see it. If I put my hand here, there's like he starts at the toe, and then it goes around and around and around, and then you kind of like stop and you make like this big long chain, and then you go back on the chain and you continue around the sock. So you're going around and around at this point. But then on the next row, he comes down over here, and then he's gonna have to decrease in this little corner, as you can call it. And then he goes to the end, and he will have to either decrease just right there or in a couple of different places. And then goes around and decreases there. So you're decreasing here and here, and you're increasing over on the other end. And you do that until you get the amount of stitches you need or the right fit over your heel, and then you continue just normal back up again. And you can see that there. Let's see if I can get that back up. That's where the decreasing is, sorry, and then the increasing is down here. And it makes it so that you have like a bit of a seamless heel. That's how he's got that look. And in this one too, you can see there's the big finger chain, and then the decreasing, I feel like the weather girl, decreasing here and increasing around there. But it's tricky to do that. I made a pair of socks like that, 2 pairs of socks like that, and one pair turned out I wear a size 42 and I have big feet, but they turned out to be like size 48. So I put them in the shop, and one guy with really big feet was extremely happy to find some and is asking me to make more. Let's see, there's some more socks on here. There's some more socks and a Carla. And you can see oh no, this isn't sock, this is for swarmers. So now that I see it on there, but you can see he's added the thumb. But I like your tight little stitches here. They're so cool. Some more socks. But look at how thin that yarn is that you're using up there. It's amazing. So anyway, I have to show off all these stitching. I asked him immediately when I saw these. I'm like, holy crap! This we got to show later too. This one he was calling a ditty bag, which was 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. But zoom in on those stitches. They look insane. I love the way you did the eye holes on there too, by the way, Lukas. Yeah, it does have a very interesting structure. I'm quite agree with you. I have to grab the computer so I can see the chat a bit better. So I can see what he's writing here. This is the only heel that you ever make. Ah, okay. The finger heel, as I call it, or something. It looks like a finger sticking out. It does have a really cool fit, but I don't know. I did 2 of them, and I got the second pair to fit kind of right, but my heel started slipping down. when I was wearing some, and then I just stopped making them that way and gave up and went back to the way that I usually do the afterthought heel. That they look so cool. So I'm really jealous of those that can get that one well. But green was your favorite socks, he said too, by the way, was Lucas's. Najwa says, I meant to send a video. Oh, wait, a little bit further up. Is that, yeah, no, I got that. I meant to send a video showing it, but my week got very hectic all of a sudden. Najwa says, I do some math, measuring, taking notes of whatever when I make socks. Drops Nepal, if I remember correctly, for the socks. Drops Nepal is a really good one. That green hat that I showed last week was made with that, I think. But anyway, this bag was really cool to see. It's got, I like the way he did the eyelets on there. So it almost looks like you used a ring and then kind of did buttonhole stitch around it to reinforce it. So I have to ask, did you use a ring there, or is that just a hole in the stitching that you either made afterwards and then stitched around? I suddenly want to try it, says Audrey. I know I gotta figure out how to do this one and we can try to show it, but if I can barely turn it on my thumb. Or she wants to try the heel maybe. Yeah, you have to give it a try anyway, see how you like it. It is in also in Merve Passanen's book with one needle, and it's in Ulrika's book, Nalbinding, What in the World Is That? So you should be able to find those patterns, but they're around. There's some on the internet as well. Let's see if there's some more socks to show. There's some more socks. Look at the height of the stitch. You can see at the bottom here, I think, somewhere around here. I got text in front of me now, but somewhere around here you can see the row height. Which is, it should tell you something about how many loops is being used on that and how tall they are. The row height is quite high. But they look so cool, and I love, love, love the texture you have on that. I do not have the patience for that. And there's Lucas's feet, for those of you who have a bit of a fetish. You can see the socks in action. They look really cool. I have to look it on my screen here a little bit, so I keep trying to do this, and then you can't see. Yeah, that one's done with a rag yarn, I think, or are you using more than one yarn at a time, too? That one you have to ask. Eurydice says Nepal is kind of thick, though, at least for me. It says 5 millimeters. Nick. Yeah, I don't think I would try in that many. I wouldn't try 12 loops with Nepal, drops Nepal yarn. It's a bit akin to Letlopi, I think, or maybe Olafos Lopi, actually, a little bit more like Olafos Lopi, for those who know the Icelandic wool. Let's see, there's some more. This is you're showing how thick that stitch is, I think. Let's see, it'll catch up on my screen here in a minute. There it goes. Yeah, this one I'm not sure if you're showing socks, but you can see the thickness of it, how nice and thick the stitch gets. Although this looks like it might be a different stitch. This one's thinner. It also looks like it might need needle tension. Is this telemark maybe? That might be the telemark one. That's 16 loops. No, that's a hat coming up later. Yeah. 16 loops is wow. Nalbinding socks, methods of construction. Oh, Maria's right here. She's got it. Yeah, that one you should be able to find as well on the internet. There's different types of heels I can do. Nalbinding heel types, and I should be able to find it on Pinterest. Binding heel types. Yeah, it comes up immediately. Shelah, Shelagh, Lewins. Nalbinding socks, methods of construction. I can click. Actually, I have my computer with me. I can just enter it into chat. Sock heels, heel types. There, when you go in there, you can see there's all kinds of different types of heels. Much further down, heel type B, C. And what he is doing is heel type E, according to this one. The one I do is not on here, but I guess maybe it would be A. But mine is similar to what they're doing in. I think I'm missing some heel types on this link that I just posted. Anyway, there should be some more images, I think. Oh, what does AI say? For those, if you haven't seen it, That's actually not too bad. Ingela Anderson posted in some of the Nalbinding groups about AI instructions for how to needle bind, and they're absolutely hilarious. You should, if you haven't seen it, you should. There's one where they're literally just resting the yarn on a needle, and other ones are using 2 needles to knit your Nalbinding. Let's see. Okay, then we'll show. We'll save that one for last, maybe. There's some more socks. Is this the one, maybe? That might be the one. Oh, Karl is making noise again. The AI constructions were very funny. I almost have to find those on here. If you go to the Nalbinding groups, I think she has them in both of them on Facebook. Or there's more than one. It's going to be completely reversed when I show it on my screen. Let's see. I can show the whole post. There. This is the reason why you shouldn't trust AI to write instructions for Nalbinding. Nalbinding instructions and illustrations from ChatGPT. So I'm going to hold up the computer. Let's see. It's going to be reversed for you, but it doesn't really matter. That is not simple looping or cross knit looping. It doesn't matter if you see it reverse or right side. But that's needle binding according to AI. And then there's how to thread your long loop Nalbinding. For one, I don't know what long loop Nalbinding is, but that's not what needle binding looks like. The mom and stitch and the Oslo stitch. Again, in reverse, but, you know. And my favorite is the Oslo stitch. There you go. You just like wrap the yarn over the needle and then you just slide it up and down the needle a little bit and then you're done. And you'll have a beautiful pair of Oslo mittens in no time. And some of the comments on those were kind of hilarious too. One more example why AI can't be trusted, writes one. But I think my favorite one is Rebecca, who writes, no, the Oslo finally makes sense. Anyway, thought that you would enjoy that. Okay, I have to show some more pictures of socks here. How you're doing? Oh, you got your food. Karl's got food with the red cabbage. You want to show off your wonderful food the way it's supposed to look?
Just like yours, except
it's red. I'm having another bite, by the way. And then we're going to look at the... So are you... thank you for making my food for me, my beautiful Christmas dinner. His has red cabbage. And you have a Christmas beer. Are you going to have that with it?
Yeah. As long as I follow all of your little instructions, I deserve a beer.
Yes, you do. Did you control the cat, Karl?
The cat is semi-controlled. It's very hard to cook and control the cat at the same time because the cat really wants the food.
Mm-hmm. She does.
She will be here any moment.
Yeah, she's right behind him. There she is. You done with that? This is kind of cute. There. I don't think she realizes this is a problem. Okay, fine. Robert says it's just sad that someone is going to try to follow those instructions on AI. Yeah, no, I agree. They're absolutely hilarious. The AI, says Lukas, might not be good for giving out needle binding instructions, but they are good for a laugh. No, I think so. As long as you know. As long as you know it's not the real thing, then it's kind of funny. Here was some more. I like this yarn you used here. I made a hat and something similar to that. It's a little bit like a tweed, but, well, it is a tweed. But what was the stitch yeah, this one you used on the socks is 3 plus 3 plus 3. That's insane that you can do that, but they look so cool. Anyway, that one reminds me of a hat I made, but mine was, it was a little bit thicker than that. Of course, I used also stitch. I think I got through the socks. Yeah, then we have to show the table. Or actually, no. Speaking of cats, Lukas has a cat. And Lukas, if you don't know what he looks like, let's see. First, that's his cat eating in a... Here, I'll hold it so Karl can see. On the other thing there, without being in the picture. This is his cat drinking from the world's tiniest vessel. She's got a lot of hair on her. She's got a fuzzy one too. Okay, let's see. Next picture of the cat. I think it was this one. The cat likes to plant herself or himself. I can't remember if it was a boy or girl. Valerian root says, oh, she's sniffing some good stuff, the valerian root. There, can you find the cat in that picture? Our cats haven't done that yet. I've seen them try, once upon a time, try to use the flower pot as a potty. But this one is just, I gotta zoom in, Karl can't see it. That is not a toupee in that plant. And you'll see why Lukas does not need a toupee. Because the next one has a very cute picture of Lukas and his cat. There you go. That's Lukas. And he also, yes, that beard is extremely long. He's got an epic beard. Let's see, it's catching up. There it is. Even the cat has Nalbinding. But yeah, Karl, his beard puts yours to shame. Anything you want to say about that?
No, it's not a competition, really.
We had another guy, I think Magnus was his name, a Norwegian as well, that had really, no, he might be Swedish too, had a long beard and would do glima. And he would braid it up into 2 braids on each end and then wrap it around his neck so it was hanging over the backside while he did glima. I thought that was an impressive trick.
There are many ways to find out if somebody is Norwegian or Swedish.
Albert says he has a really good wizard beard. I agree with you there. And the cat, too. Look how cute. And then you felted that hat, too, I believe, the one that's on his head. And I like the brim, or up at the top in the middle, there's like a hat band kind of a thing going on, which is quite cool. No, so that's Lukas. It's been a while since he's been here. So he's due to come back. Then, let's see. We'll show some hats that he made. There was one with Lukas and a couple with Lukas and wearing a hat here. Black hat. So here Lukas is being very brave working with dark yarn. You can see the stitch detail. No, you can't actually see the stitch detail. It's almost, it's if you zoom way in, you can kind of see the rows in there, but it's hard to see. But yes, that's a glowing example as why nobody likes to work with black yarn, because you can barely see the loops, but they look so cool when it's done. So there's a lot of love in that hat. What is the increased rate to get the nice pointy hat? Okay, Roddy's, you're gonna have to tell them what you did to how many increases you did to get that pointy hat. I can go back to it. I can show you one that I did while he writes what he did for his. Let's see, I'll put the computer back out of the way for a minute so I can set this down. I've been working on Karl's hat, this wonderful yarn that I got from Norway last week. It is 400 kroner yarn, actually, if it's not on sale. This is Norway. It was Norway Marudo. It was a new one I hadn't tried yet. Does it not say? Oh, Madara. Norway Madara yarn is 100 grams or 200 meters. And the needle size on this one, if you were a knitter, would have been size 4. So it's a medium yarn. But it's comparable to the Norway Secret Garden, etc., if you're familiar with those. So I started working on a hat for Karl. This also has a point, but it's not, it went straight up at one point, so I didn't make the flare out that he did. But it has, this one I started out, I have no idea how many stitches I started out with, but I started out increasing every 5th, and then when I got to around here, it started to flare out quicker than I wanted it to. So then I jumped and started increasing every 6th or 7th, and in the end, I was increasing every 20th stitch until it got to where I needed it to go straight, like about there. You can see where it's not folding. And I have no idea how many stitches around, but it is supposed to be loose on his head, because if it isn't loose, there you go. If it isn't loose fitting around his head, it'll pull that point, and he'll look like a Teletubby. But now he's just a blåfjellnisse. How you feeling, Karl? Are you gonna wear that in public?
Probably.
Yay! But it's not quite done yet. This is this Fåberg stitch, the stitch of the month. I'll show that after.
And after 6 o'clock, I will wear only this in public.
Not for kids. Really? Why after 6 o'clock?
Because then I can't scare away any paying customers.
Yeah, but Runa usually hasn't driven us home by then yet. People might pay more.
Might.
It has to be a little bit longer yet. It's not quite done because he wants to fold it. Let's see. If I were to pull it down though, so it fit, you can kind of see it's ruining the point here a little bit though. That's why I wanted it to be a little loose on his head. You're such a patient person, Karl. Mm-hmm. I think you should wear this for the entire episode.
I'm not sure if I'm that patient.
He's very cute. Anyway, but so Radisby, what did you write about? How do you do your increases to? Because you continued then, but I guess when you get around here, you're gonna have to. The base where you want to flare out, then you want it to increase much faster, or enough to get it to lay flat, like a record. Let's see. Where did he write here? Pretty color. I know, I love that color. I was actually very happy to find that it was a discontinued color, or at least that dye batch was discontinued. So they might still make the color, but there is slight pooling to it. I can see it in the picture more. There is a slight pooling where it goes in shades in light and dark. But it has about 30% silk in it, I think, which gives it that really cool texture. Yeah, and Heidi says, Blå nisselue. I thought so too. You can be a nisse. Blå nisses, blue elves in Norwegian. Not for kids, not for kids. They're quick on that. That blue is the only blue I like just because of the blåfjell. I agree with you, Albert. Does Lukas have some social media I can follow? Lukas, do you have social media that they can follow? Where are you on there? Anyway, I tagged you on Facebook, so they can see you. They can find you there anyway. Lukas is not on social media. Do I have the wrong Lukas? I thought it was Redis. Isn't Redisby Lukas, or did I get that completely wrong? Maybe I've been giving, no, I thought that, let me see. Lukas, if you're on, yeah, if you're on Facebook anyway, he is tagged in the Nalbinding groups as well. But I thought Lukas was Radisby, so maybe I have this wrong. No, I have it right. I think so. Oh, he posted on my page. Look for that on my Facebook page. That's Lukas's post. Oh no, he's not on my face. That's on his own Facebook page, and you have to be friends. That's Lukas. You can see the epic long beard, by the way. I wasn't kidding. There's no way I mixed it up. That's got to be him. Anyway, but he's the one who sent me the photos. Let's see. We should show some more too, speaking of. I'll get back into chat here so I can read it. Look at his email address again. Yeah, look at the email address again. It is say it. Well, it's Lukas who sent me the pictures. I thought Radisby was Lukas, so maybe I got it wrong. I know. That's why I couldn't figure it out. Radisby says, no, I'm not asking for my own social media links. I fail. I might have to remove the Radisby tag in the post that I wrote. But anyway, oh, and Garcia says, hello, Karin, and the lovely Nissen. Well, anyway, okay, now, but it's Lukas who made these pictures that I'm going to show here. Okay, we'll go back and show some more pictures. He is also from Sweden, so I might have confused the two. I thought he was Radisby. Now I'm wondering who Radisby is. This is another one of Lukas wearing a hat that he made. This one I think is in telemark. I have to get my picture out of the way so I can see it. See you, Suze. Oh my God. Redisby's laughing at me. Yeah, no, I might have made a critical error there, but at least I wrote Lukas Thorson all over the thumbnail that it's his Nalbinding.
So you're crediting the wrong Swede.
Oh, I'm making 2 Swedes into the same Swede.
Ah.
I'm merging. Merge Nalbinding.
If you merge 2 Swedes, do you get a Dane?
Raymond Roberts says, I'm Brian. No, I'm Brian. This is Daryl, and this is my brother Daryl, and this is my other brother Daryl. Isn't that how it goes on Newhart's show? Did you ever watch Newhart when you were kids? Am I getting really old?
It might be that redneck humor is more fun if you're American.
Yeah, okay, fine.
We have trenders for that.
So Redisby, congrats on free publicity, says Najwa. Redisby, no pressure, but you're up next. You have to... Okay, I'll remove Redisby's name after. So anyway, let's see some more. I think that was another... No, that's the same hat. I might be an idiot. Okay, these are some other cool things that he's made. I gotta get Karl. Oh, Karl's just above the picture. I tried to post him a little high up so that my wall is coming through. Okay, so if I hold it here, you poured your beer. I'll have to show off that in a minute. Okay, now I think the background is not changing. So on the left, you can see the hats. This is on this table. There's a lot of instruction on this table. I have to find my note again. The ditty bag is not in this picture. Let me see. On the table, he says, none of these are Omani stitches, because I thought for sure, but nope. The hats and the teddy are carboning stitch, which is 2 plus turn loop plus 3, or twist loop plus 3. The fingerless gloves that we'll see, I think, a little bit later in here, they're on the table on the left, though, if you have a good eye, is the Kitea stitch, 1 plus 2 plus 1. And the hats on him and the cat were it was telemark, which is Russian 1 plus 1 plus 1. Carboning stitch. It's been a while since we've done that one. We have to do it again. Kitea, I think, was a couple of weeks or a couple of maybe last year or the year before. But then the next thing you can look at is his scarf. If you see on the table in the middle, there's actually 2 scarves on the table, but one is rolled up. He's got a really cool way of doing this. I have to show. I've always thought about adding fringes on the end, so you kind of do the loop thing. Virginia did a video on it, Virsama, where when you get to the end of the row, you just don't connect, you just loop, and then you go back, and then you don't connect, and you just do a chain loop, then you connect and go back, and then you stop connecting, do a chain loop, and you have this these loops there, and you can either cut them or you can just leave them. But he had another way of doing it so that you could do a scarf the long way here. Let's see if I can find the picture of that. You can start with something like that. If you see, there he's got this. You can see look at how thin that yarn is, though, and it makes such a wonderful, wonderful texture. You can see how, I have to zoom in and see it on my computer. But you can see the row height. I see 2 rows of green, 2 rows of red, 2 rows of black, 2 rows of blue, 2 rows, and he's starting a second row right there. This is where he's starting his second row, but you can see how big each row is. This is a row. That's a row. That's a row. But he makes a big tube, and then he'll cut it. But before he cuts it, because we're always afraid that it might unravel a little bit, he'll stitch it down. And I think there was a picture. Yeah, this one. There you can see. He's done like a little hand stitching here. And then he just cuts it so it's this nice fringe, which was a brilliant way of doing that, I thought. So there you go. If you need if you want to make a scarf and you want to kind of make it a quicker way instead of turning your rows or going back and forth the long way, you can just do a big long tube, stitch here and stitch on the other side of the thing before you cut it, and then it'll be fine. And then just kind of pick out the stitches there so that it makes a perfect fringe. But I thought that was such cute with the, I never thought that, oh yeah, of course you can do scarves with short fringes instead of these long ones. So it was really quite brilliant. So that's when I said I gotta show this off. Then he's done another one here. You can see this is kind of the back side of one where he's now bound an edge all the way around. like a binded row on there, and you can tuck those in then, or sew it down before binding it in. And there's another picture in here somewhere of his scarf. Like there. I gotta get out of the way for this one because this looks really cool. There. And they need to zoom. Where in Sweden are you, Lukas? I forget where in Sweden he's from, actually. But he's been to Gudvangen a couple of times anyway. But mostly I know him from the markets in East Norway, which borders Sweden. Southeast Norway, though. Roger says, row, row, row your boat. Yeah, no, I think I'm sinking ship over here. Because I'm back paddling because I got the wrong... I was calling the same person. Look on the description. It says, and Lukas Thorson, a.k.a. Radisby. I might have to fix that.
Okay.
I'm back paddling because I didn't realize I screwed up.
You didn't understand that there was more than one Swede?
I didn't realize there was more than one Swede. No, it's a bigger country than I thought. Radisby says, I'm never posting stuff on social media, so all that free publicity was for nothing. Damn it, I thought maybe we'd have some. The hats in this picture is mixed in stitches. Yeah, there are a little different. Some of them are done in telemark. Some of them are done in where he was calling Russian 3 + 3 + 3, but with another +3. There's another twist in there somehow. So I have to see how that's done. Albert says, violently down the stream. Oh, come on! I can't win. Sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself, Karl. You want to laugh at me? I love that hat on you. I think you need to
you can't keep your Swedes apart.
I can't keep my Swedes apart. Meanwhile, it was Sweden that got me to Norway. Because I went to Sweden first and then ran into a Norwegian and that screwed everything up. So, blame Sweden. Let's see. Najwa says, close to Ala, between Göteborg and Trollhättan. Wait a minute. Fuck's sake, I'm doing it even worse. I was thinking Nargluj was Najwa. It's actually Lukas. Can I borrow a paddle? I think I need to go to hell. I was thinking Nargluj was Najwa and Sergio. I don't know why I mixed that up.
Isn't it just easier to call them whatever the hell they call themselves?
I'm guessing not very many people have there. It took you so long. Said Najwa. No, Lukas isn't. Look, it's a cat. You want to see? I should stay more up to date on. Okay. Radisby doesn't have social media, and Lukas is Nargluj and Najwa. I don't even think she's been watching all this time. I thought Najwa and Sergio were watching from Spain because she has a very similar handle. I remember when people put their names in their YouTubes.
But maybe they want to be anonymous.
So it isn't, Robert says, so it isn't just me and Raymond you do this with. Nope. Peruda sent me a photo. I've got to open it because it's a Christmas tree. Peruda. Oops, you can't see it. Green screen. Too bad. It was cool. We need a Christmas tree that size. Do you think the cat would kill it?
Yeah.
It fits on her dresser. If that gives you an idea. Raymond says it's a good thing this stream isn't live and that you're recording to upload later, isn't it, Karin? It's uploading as we speak. What do you mean? Karl's very impressed, by the way. How does that feel, by the way, that yarn?
It feels okay.
Just to you segue into something else.
It's a little bit hot for indoor brew.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you also...
use, I think.
That's also because you have the oven on.
Yeah.
It's...
Because I'm trying to hypnotize the cats.
I can't do it. I have to go back this way. There we go. No, it's... If you see it very closely there, you can maybe... It is 60% wool, 30% silk, which is raw silk, not the shiny stuff, and 10% alpaca. But yeah, no, that's good that it's warm. But I also used the Fåberg stitch, so it's a bit thicker. But I did F1 instead of 2 on this one. We will show that later. You can see it's not done. I have this much yarn left. which is less than it looks actually. There, we can do it that way. I have this much yarn left, so it's not too much. It'll be enough to finish the hat without having a white band on it, and if there's anything left over, it might just be a little bit of a highlight in some white Noro or off-white Noro yarn I have. So Lukas says, I've had my suspicions you've mixed me up with someone else in this chat for many months now. Nice to have it confirmed. No problem. I'm there for you. And then I'm sitting there going, why is Red Eastby sending me pictures? I thought Najwa was going to send them. Moving right along. Let's see. We need to show some more pictures. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, now Lucas is answering questions. Okay. So this one I had to show off again. That's what we were showing. The banding the band looks really cool around the edge. But I love your color play here, by the way. They go really, really well together. And by the way, and when you have them wrapped up like this in this photo, I want to say would you use those, if you look at the picture on the computer, Karl, he's trying to look at the tiny screen. Would those work as leg wraps in the Viking Age, or at least in Viking reenactment? Or is that too far gone?
When it comes to actual finds, I don't know.
Oh. They would definitely keep your legs warm.
What would work in reenactment, that seems to be so arbitrary. It's not really anything I can say anything sensible about.
Yeah? I think you could probably do it anyway. It would look like... I'm going to have a bite of food, so you have to keep talking. How's your beer?
It's not great, but at least there is no citrus in it.
Mm. Speaking of, I have to show his beer. His beer, not beard. He's having Nysam, which is... Fuck me, the green screen thing is not working on this can. There we go. It's a Nisse beer, but it's Nysam, so it's backwards. Juleøl, which is Christmas beer. You want to hold that? Let's see it. And then we turn it. Yes, you do. He's got a cat on his lap kicking things. Okay, there it is. Nysam, Christmas beer, and there's a very Karl looking kind of grinchy, well, he's too fat to be Karl, but making porridge. What's the percentage on this one? I'm assuming 4.7. Oops.
Probably that, or 4.5. That's typical for Norwegians about bear.
Let's see. I have to fix the gimbal.
4.7.
There. Sorry. There, we got it. Okay. The gimbal did not like me holding it, so now we're showing my mess. Go. Okay. Everybody is puky now? Yeah. 4.7% says... Nysam... Oh, it's just talking about that it just gives out. They want to give nice tasting beer and taste experiences.
Yeah.
Juleøl er brygget for å være et godt følge til traditional norsk julemat. Christmas beer is brewed to be especially good to a companion to traditional Norwegian Christmas food. Og nytes best I godt lag, and is best enjoyed together, which we were doing today. You were having your wonderful, beautiful Christmas turkey. Ta gjerne en skål for fedrene som har holdt juleøl-tradisjon I hevd. Hevd? What is that exactly? I'm thinking of, it's not heaven, I'm thinking revenge. But it says cheers for your ancestors.
Keeping up the traditions.
For keeping up their traditions, okay. Med nisser må man et oppriktig vennskap holde. Oh, this is a poem. Okay, so you get to translate. Med nisser må man et oppriktig vennskap holde. De ellers I et hus kan meget ondt forvolde. Er det skrevet? It's written. What is that?
I'm tempted
Med
to call
nisser
them...
må man et oppriktig vennskap holde. De ellers I et hus kan meget ondt forvolde.
Yeah. I'm tempted to translate Nisse to gnome, because they very much look like the garden gnomes that you have all over America.
Gnome would work, yeah. Except it's a Christmas gnome.
So, with the gnomes, a true friendship you should have, because...
meget ondt forvolde.
Otherwise, the...
House.
Gnome will cause a lot of evil in your house.
Yeah. Which is written somewhere. Ja, var du ikke snill med fjøsnissen? Gikk det fort galt?
If you went nice to your outhouse gnome, thing would turn bad quickly.
Men denne juleølen ønsker vi derfor å nyte oss nettopp denne Karin.
With this Christmas bear, we want to suck up to just that guy.
Vi satser på at no, actually, I don't think he said that guy. I believe it says Karin. Karen.
Denne Karen, that guy.
No, you need to suck up to Karin. It says it right here. It's like Karin backwards, but you get what I mean. Vi satser på at både husdyr, gård og grunn overlever nyår. Yeah, we're betting that both the cattle, the farm, and Grun Foundation.
Ground the farm is on.
Yeah, survives the new year. Men ønsker om en særdeles velsmakende jul. Anyway, that's his Christmas beer that he's having. Okay, back to my fuck ups. I'm gonna have to edit my post later. Let's see. I'm getting there. YouTube updated their naming system, so now your display has to be your account name. Oh, I didn't know that. That's what Pruda wrote anyway. And while we're at it, we've not met in a market in Eastern Norway. No, but you were in... no, we probably haven't then. I thought maybe there was Alla Viking marknad outside of Gothenburg or Sarpsborg. Because we get a lot of Swedish people there, so I would have thought I had it from you there. But you have been to Gudvangen, and I know those beards from somewhere. The braids on his beards from somewhere. A trans friend of mine ordered a scarf and a hat. That's what he made. Oh, wait, we went too far down. It was a very nice trans scarf and a few pictures back, by the way. Oh, I didn't even notice that's what the colors were. I have to put that back up. Okay, I'm not very good at this. Which would be is this trans color scarves? Or which one? You have to tell me now. Or this one? I don't know which one is trans color. There's so many flags now I can't keep up. I just know if it's a rainbow, it's pride. Or that one.
Aren't they all rainbows?
No, well, yes, some sort of a rainbow anyway. But then Lukas says a trans friend of mine ordered a scarf and hat, and a second hat, the same design, after her wife tumble dried it. Tumble dried. Tumble dry the Nalbinding unless you want it to be felted. Sorry, I'm burping now because food good. Let's see. Marina has a little gif in there of John Travolta staying alive. I'm having way too much fun over here. Albert says, may the porridge offering to him be good. The Nissa, by the way. Robert Reynolds says, I was at a whiskey tasting session last night and tried beer called Jubel, with a J. It was peach beer and it was awful. I think Karl would have probably just loved that, huh? No?
The last part of that sentence wasn't necessary. You can just end it at, it was a peach beer. Everybody will understand it's awful.
Albert says, I'm sorry for their peach beer. No, those flavors do not go together. You agree?
Well, what have I said every episode for the last...
Do you concur?
For the last 250 episodes, what I've been saying every time.
You saying mangoes don't belong in beer.
I've said fruit and vegetables don't belong in beer.
Matcha. Peach and apple cider, yes, with beer, no, says Raymond. Blue, white, and pink, says Marina. Okay, we've got it. That would be... back. That one. That's the trans one. Oh, I got it. It's a translate, yeah, but I'd have to Google the translate. And PJ says, I'm quiet because I'm painting a dragon phoenix monster thing. Dragon/phoenix. I thought you were just, like, in shock at me screwing up everybody's identifications. I'm going to hell. Okay, we gotta look at some more. While we're at it here. There was my favorite ones. I think we're on that part. No, they're the wrist warmers first. I like all of these, actually. That's why I had to ask him. I need to show these. No, that was the table. The wrist warmers. Okay, let's get Karl out of the way.
You did ask the right Swede for permission to show his work, right?
It was on email, so I couldn't have gotten it wrong. Yeah, no, I definitely did. But these are really cool, too. I like this is natural wool color. I'm assuming this is the natural color of the sheep. I'm guessing it looks a lot like similar to one that we have from Waltness Court, which is just in our land, about 3 tunnels away from Gudvangen. One short one and 2 longer ones. And this is the one that you said was done in telemark stitch. I have to put this down and read my cheat sheet here. Fingerless gloves wearing kite stitch. No, 1 + 2 + 1. So it's a Russian stitch though, but not 1 + 1 + 1. It's llama wool, says not Najwa, by the way. This is Lucas. It's not a llama wool. Oh, that looks. It must be really soft then. I don't think we've actually tried. I mean alpaca, yeah, but not 100%. I don't think in a long time. I've knit with it, but I don't think I've actually null-bound with 100%. Yeah, kite stitch. Okay, with that one we have to do again too. It's been a while, and then I think I got through all of them except for my very favorite ones. So we have this one here. These guys are so cute. We need these in the shop, by the way. They'd be the most expensive dolls in the store, but they'd be totally worth it. But these things, I just want to poke his belly. And then there in this one, they each have a scarf, which is really cute. But they look so lovable. I just want to hug them. It looks cute. But then also look at the stitching though too. Holy crap. Yeah, kite is a really nice stitch. I should do that one again. It's been a while. And the stuffies you said were done in carboning, which is 2 plus a twisted loop plus 3. I have not done that one in a while, so I think carboning would be a really fun one to visit. So unless I change my mind, that one might be a fun one to try for December. But just because anybody wants to get a head start and starts doing the carboning stitch in December, I might change my mind just to piss everyone off. Lucas says, I got 2 more that's being worked out, trying to figure out a good pattern for them. Oh, they're so cute though. Do you sell those in market or you just make them for friends? Those I would absolutely love to. If we put those in our shop, they'd be well over 1,000 kroner. Because we take 30% on commission items, but I mean, I'm assuming they're about this big, like one Karl head in length or something, but maybe. But yeah, no, I mean, you'd almost have to go 2,000 on them, to be honest. 2,000 Norwegian kroner, I would think, would be an out price for those. And so then, of course, you have to have a mom who really, really likes her kids to give them one of those. But they're really cool. You should definitely sell those, I think. Well, make some and sell those ones you got to keep in love. I do take commissions. Okay, now you know that Luke. Now you know where Lucas is, what he looks like, how to find him on Facebook, and what his handle is on YouTube. So I have to ask Lucas to make you one of those. But yeah, when we sell them. We sell handmade items on for about 70 different Vikings. 70 different Vikings in the Viking shop, and then Gudvangen takes 30% to sell it. But we work out the price together anyway, and then the 70% goes to the maker. And of course they're tax-free because it's a handcraft, so which means it's up to the person making it to report their taxes when they hit a certain amount. But in Norway you can sell for a certain amount tax-free. Anyway, but that's the kind of thing that would take a while to sell because they would be expensive because there's a lot of work gone into that thing. But it's one of those things that are one of the it's like the jewel in the store. So I have to show those off anyway, but I absolutely love those. But we've had a few people drooling this week when I've showed them these. They're like, oh, I need it, and I just want to squeeze them. I actually like that you didn't put a face on it too. No eyes or anything. It just looks that much more cute and simple. But I think it would. And I noticed they even have their own little scarves with the fringes, by the way. With the cute fringes. I'm gonna have to try to make a. Yep. Radisby, not to be confused with Lucas, says, please tell us when you finish the pattern. Because Lucas said I got 2 more that are being worked out, trying to figure out a good pattern for them. Yeah. Oh, you're in Radisby's making kite socks as we speak. Namro says they need a wizard hats to go with them in the shop. No, you're right there. They need one more thing. They need like a little wizard hat to go with them. And you need to make one with bunny ears, says Raymond. Yes, you do. I love that they're faceless, though. They're kind of a cute, timeless look to them when they're like that. What do you think? I'm pointing to the phone. There. What do you think? I think we're there. I like him. You know why? He's got a pudgier belly. What do you think? Do you need one?
I don't think so, no.
No. They have a wizard hat. They share a hat size with my cat. I like that. Ambrose says, "Oh, my niece just had a daughter, so now I know what to make." And it looks really cute. I like these. So that's my favorite one so far. Of all the ones that he had sent. And I think I showed you all the pictures now except for the landscape. Let's see. Yeah, those aren't down. They didn't get downloaded. Oh, speaking of AI, this is one thing I like the most. This picture, it's not in the right format. It says, "I made slippers, no pattern needed." And you can see they should basically shoved a skein of yarn on their feet. Did you need some slippers like that, Karl? No? Okay. Anyway, I thought I had to share that post on there. Let's see if I have some cat diplomacy pictures. Do you see what's going on there? If I move Karl. Dude. There's Fuzzy looking all nicely and innocent in a very comfortable spot on Karl's gambeson. And then Jaws, the Siamese cat. I was going to say, what other pictures do we have from this week? On my camera roll while I'm at it. Those are my kids' shooting pictures. Oh, then it's all the Nalbinding has from last week. I'd have to go way, way, way far up. But, okay, so back to this thing. This one is, I think I made this in Oslo stitch anyway, but it is with mohair yarn. And there was another picture there when you look through it. So I decided I've needed to use some of my mohair yarn. And I'll turn the green screen off there so you can see. It's kind of psychedelic watching you sit there and pour a beer in the middle of this spiral, Karl. Okay. There. So this is the mohair yarn. It almost looks solid from the outside, but when you hold it up, if I can do that without flipping over my computer here. I don't know if you can see the stitches. No, you can't. I have to hold it up to the light. Let's see. Tilt. Change the screen. There. There you can see how fine the stitches are, but you can also see the fuzz in between the stitches because my fingers, for example, on the back side there is not clear. That's what makes a thin hat or a hat with that thin of yarn actually quite warm, because all that fuzz is kind of trapping the heat in. But it's a, let's see, we'll turn it back again. It's a cool effect. Just if you do try mohair yarn, just don't make any mistakes. But it almost looks like a solid when you see it this way. This is self-pooling, by the way. But it is easy to work with. It's just that because you can see those stitches so well in real life, you don't want to make any mistake. But also because if you have to pull it out, it will fuzz up against each other. Oh, that's why. It's inside out, sorry. That's the right side. Then you can see the stitches a bit better. For some reason, the wrong side looks more fuzzy. I don't know, it's because if I'm needle binding it, all the fuzz kind of gets caught on the inside, or the technical wrong side. But there you go, now you can kind of see. And this yarn is, I don't know what the hell it was in my freezer. Basically as a moth deterrent. Sometimes I'll put the wool in the freezer if it's going to be sitting for a while. That's what that is. And this little bit has a lot of meterage to it, so it's more than enough to make one hat. Thought I saw something on it. So, Karl?
Yeah?
I'm going to have to get some good Viking update from you. It's been a while.
Yeah?
First, I'll catch up. Whoop, that way. Find Karl and his pussy. Not for kids. Skein slippers, laugh out loud, has reduced me. I figured out what to give my whole family for Christmas. It might take a little time to make them, but you can do it. I've really got to try mohair one of these days. Yeah, just if you're going to make mohair, do something real simple like the Oslo stitch. That's just thumb gauge, that whole thing, which is easy enough to do, but not so complicated that you might make a mistake and have to sit there and pull the yarn through and fuzz it up. I'm eating.
Yeah, I see that.
How was your day today?
Had a fun Italian family to guide.
Mm-hmm.
So the Italians have now gone past both the Spanish and the Dutch on the list of people that like to guide.
Oh, really? That you like to guide now.
Hmm?
That you like to guide. That's pretty good. By the way, don't hold mohair yarn over your gravy. Just saying.
No, don't do that.
We had a question today. We were talking, you and Hovland and I, and I thought there was the speed of a boat, Viking ship.
But obviously it's situational. Theoretically, with any wind-propelled vessel, you can have very good speed if the wind doesn't do anything else but putting your boat in a forward motion. What wind normally does, if you're on the open sea, is to also produce waves. And the waves will absolutely limit your speed. The kind of agreed upon normal top speed for a Viking ship is about 14 knots. But there are speculations that I could have been a little bit faster than that, maybe a lot faster than that. But it takes optimal circumstances, where you have strong wind and flat sea, which basically practically never happens.
RGSB points out, with referring to the mohair yarn anyway, with it having this much space between, I assume it breathes even better than other yarns too, right? I think so. I would think it does. I don't tend to wear it too much because mostly I get overheat because I might have some meat on my bones here. But also if I itch too much here, and it is not exactly a soft yarn that I would have, but if I had a sweater and such out of mohair, it does keep you quite warm, but it should breathe.
I'm sigging off for a snickerette, and I'm expecting candy when I come back.
I waved the candy bag at him. Rampa Nisser, and you have to explain rampa when you come back.
Juvenile delinquent.
Juvenile delinquent?
Yeah.
That was too quick. Come back and do it again. Okay. Do you want to go outside and look at the beautiful mountains while Karl smokes a cigarette? Okay. Oh, Torben just made it, by the way. Oh, Peruta said, I just realized that today there aren't any more reenactment events on my calendar this year. Time to come to Gudvangen. It's reenactment every day here. And Torben says, just speaking to say evening. How do just came back from Santa's March in, is this Skinsarvik? Am I saying that right? K-I? Skinsarvik, yeah. The demons met Santa and got snacks. Okay, so Torben, obviously you weren't here early enough when I pointed out that I think this is your family photo. I'm not entirely sure, but it kind of reminds me, this could be you. And that could be one of the demons. But I think this is Audra. She's laughing at you guys. It looks like him a little bit. Just saying. So have you tried these yet? I've never seen these before, so we have to try it. But considering it's skumnisse, which is foam Santas with vanilla and chocolate, this to me looks a lot like Bomsimums. If you've had those, just like chocolate, you can see them in there, so we'll see how these go. Torben says, that can be true, I don't get any candy, only gin. Okay, now, apparently, you missed it earlier too, Torben. It says on the back that these nisses, they like to go swimming, so you have to watch out, because if you're having a glass of milk, they could just suddenly jump into it and turn into chocolate milk. What would this do to your gin? If they decided to go swimming in your gin, then they really would be rampanissid, juvenile delinquent nisses. But I dare you now to try this in your gin, Torben. And Naudra says, "Oh, Karen, let's see." She's going. That sounds like a challenge. It is a challenge. Santa said you could. So I want to see see what it look. I mean, it's all backwards, so you're gonna just have to hold it up to a mirror and read it. But it says Rampanisse våre elsker å bade. Var obs plutselig så tar de seg et bad I melkeglasset ditt, for alle liker vel sjokolademelk. But what about chocolate gin? Do they all like chocolate gin? Hold my beer, says Torben. You can do this. Also, I need some questions for Karl. He's going to come back, and I'm going to see if he can answer a question and try to chew these marshmallow nisses. Without palm oil, by the way. Hold my chin. So now we also got to figure out what to do. They're having the Christmas tree lighting in Gudvangen today. My boss told me to come and film it, and I would have absolutely loved to do it, but it's very dark. All you would see is the lights. But also we weren't, no, actually you might be able to see a little bit more from the street, but I don't think we would have had a ride back. And I did not want to walk back in the dark, pitch black, along a road 40 minutes. But if we get an opportunity, we'll take a look sometime the rest of the winter, or rest of the year to walk through. Question for Karl, says Torben. How many miniatures are painted now?
Like 1 or 2.
I'm sorry, into the camera, Karl.
Like 1 or 2.
And now like an orc would say it?
1 or 2.
Yeah. So I'd like to see those two in total, not just this month.
In total, 1 or 2.
Yeah, which was probably done before Christmas last year.
This month, 0.
And this year. And he said, is it 1 or 2?
I think it's only the commando boss that is actually finished.
Yeah.
Where is the fucker?
You'll have to find him. There's a Rampanisse in it for you. All right.
I think I'll just have a Rampanisse and then look for him another day.
I challenged him because these guys like to go swimming in chocolate. You have to watch out for your glass of milk because they like to go swimming in it. But what would happen if they jumped into his beer? So I've challenged him that now he has to have one of these things, 1 or 2 of these things jump into his gin and, sorry, not beer, but gin and drink it. He says, challenge accepted, or he says, hold my gin.
That wouldn't necessarily
He said,
be...
so one in big letters.
That wouldn't necessarily be horrible, but I think I would use something like rum instead of gin for that.
Ooh, rum would be interesting. We do have rum. Would you use Malibu rum or the regular?
Regular.
Regular. No coconuts for you. Okay, let's see what you think. We're going to see what these look like.
It's chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
Just with a different shape.
Is it balsamums, pretty much? What? How the hell does that look like a Nissa? And then if you look on the backside, it's just...
It's just a very specific part of the anatomy of
Put that down. It's all anatomy Nissas. It doesn't even look like Torben anymore. Not even Audra. What the hell? There's not even... I'm disappointed. What does it taste like? Oh. They're all the same shape.
I can see this being the hat and the face would be down here somewhere if you accept no details on your Nissa.
This one has a little more. There's a knob on the end.
As well it should be.
Try the knob. You can have those. They're too sweet. Outer says, I said it's not me. It's the ocarinas all over again, says Robert. And Raymond reminds, not for kids. And the reason they're saying this is, Torben says, I don't have those, but I have Kinder Eggs, by the way, which could be interesting, except for I think Kinder Eggs taste better. But don't drink the toy. Not for kids under 3. You know they can't sell Kinder Eggs in the United States because of the choking hazard those little toys are? I mean, that's a ridiculous thing. Just don't give them to the small kids. It's not rocket surgery. But he says, it looks like Hitler's scrotum. Does it taste like Hitler's scrotum, Karl?
No basis for comparison there.
Thank God. Okay. A wizard's staff has a knob on the end, says Torben. Speaking of wizards, go back and then look at the hats that Lukas made. They're quite cool. And we got wizard hat and Rampanissa. Prude had one question for Karl. What kind of toys or games would Viking children have had? This is something we've been looking into. At least I have, because I want more toys in the shop.
There are finds of dolls, toy horses, and toy swords. Short that it might have been. It looks like Viking kids had a kind of normal childhood for a while.
Yeah?
Karl is chasing Fuzzy.
Fuzzy just fell. He fell between the chair and the couch, and he's just getting lower and lower and lower, grabbing on for dear life. And knocked all your Warhammer stuff on the floor.
Yeah, he does that.
But yes, you were talking about toys.
Yeah, no, I don't know of anything else. There might be.
It's hard to get them historical. I did see a little reel about them, and took some screenshots.
But it is also kind of hard to say. When you have a find, you have a find. You don't necessarily know the usage for it. So like the small bronze figurines that we think of as gods might have been toys. I can't say for sure that they wasn't. But I don't know the context of the find or anything like that. So it might be that would be absolutely unacceptable in Viking society. It's hard to say.
Just have to see where I saved it. If I put it in screenshots or downloads. There was a reel with some toys, and I thought some of these would be fun to try.
That's actually kind of a funny thing about archaeology of Rome.
Yeah?
Because back in the Republic days, you have very, very little toys. Because everybody in the upper classes is so super focused on their kids becoming good grown-ups. So they have no time for toys. The only thing that kind of resembles a toy is dice, because they like gambling. But you don't find dolls or wooden swords and that sort of thing. But as soon as you go into the imperial era, where you have the emperor basically deciding who gets to be a senator no matter what, so there is no point in even running for an election without his support, they stop giving a fuck. So now their kids can have more or less normal childhoods because, no, you're not going to be a senator anyway, so here, have a toy sword and have fun, type of thing.
Well, kids can make, they're quite creative. Even if they don't have toys, they will make things into toys. I frustrated my mother this way once. She was trying to, I don't know what I did. I did something, got in trouble, and she was trying to send me to my room to think about what I had done. But she had recently done my laundry, and she used to ball up the socks, roll them up in a little ball and tuck them into each other, and then she had them on my bed for me to put them away. And I guess when she came up a little while later to check on, see how I was doing, because I was being too quiet and I was talking, I was talking, I think it was. But I didn't sound very upset or like I was thinking about what I had done. Apparently, I had turned each one of those little sock balls into a character. There was Bluey, and then there was Yellowy, and then there was Pinky, and Pinky liked Bluey, but Yellowy didn't like me. And I had like this whole dialogue, and she realizes there's just no punishing you. So yeah, no, even sock balls can be fun in toys. Okay, so I'll make this a little bit bigger. This one is actually, this is based on a find. This is a boat. We've seen like a recreation of it. It's like a block of wood with a divot in it. So it doesn't really, it's not something that we can make and sell, but we were thinking that maybe if we made one that looked like a drakkar with the shape, so it had like the dragon heads on it, kind of thing. And then put a sail on it, and that might look a little bit more. It would be obviously a more modern version, but it maybe would be passable for a toy for kids to play with. Because we have a lot of, I don't know what the hell is in the water this year, but it was like 4 or 5 pregnancies in Gudvangen. It's insane in 1 year, and the last time we had a pregnancy in Gudvangen, 12 years prior, I think.
Disclaimer: water doesn't cause pregnancies.
But something did, because let's see, we had Louisa and Runa started it off, and then
you want to have my theory here?
There's like 7 kids now, maybe 5, at least 5.
My theory is that Runa and Louisa had a kid.
Yeah.
And then everybody looks at them and goes, if those two goofballs can pull it off, so can we.
Runa's sister's online, by the
I
way, but she
know.
might be inclined to agree with you. No, because then Jan Harald and they had a kid, and Andy and Lynn, they had a kid. Lynn Elizabeth, they had a kid. Edita was pregnant when she got here, I think, and had a kid. Elisa and Susanna got pregnant while they were here and had a kid, and then we find out that there's another one, which I don't think that is public yet, but they also are expecting.
Don't accidentally
I'm not.
divulge anything.
No, I didn't. But there's like, geez, yeah, no, everybody's getting pregnant. So we decided anyway that we need to have some more, a little bit better representation of toys that could be used in the village with Viking kids that wouldn't be in your face wrong. But I'm sorry, I don't think people would want to buy a block of wood that look like that. So I think we have to try to make it a little bit more obvious what it is.
This might very well be a self-made toy. If you give a small boy a knife, he will either make something like that or stab his brother, depending on which Viking family he is from.
I think Karl, I was starting to worry, says Robert. These were some of the, Robert says, these were some of the wooden Viking doll-like figures that were found way north of Greenland settlements. Okay, because I'm not exactly sure it was. I was pretty sure the reel I watched was in Danish, by the way. So Greenland makes sense in that matter. I gotta go up a little bit further. A wizard staff has knobs on the end, says Torben. Albert says, Torben, all you need to do with neck-rounds are lead belcher, Nern oil, and tesseract green.
Name some colors.
Yep. And then Torben continues on, that's because Americans can't understand the blueprints. I thought he was talking about me not understanding the blueprint. But no, he's talking about the Warhammer people. A wizard staff has a knob at the end. Prute is very impressed. Okay, and then Torben says, Albert, I could do that, but no, I'm not aiming for just desktop ready here. I just wanted that. If I just wanted that, I'd buy a spray can of lead belcher and call it a day. I did that on Karl's, the background thing. It wasn't lead belcher, it was rust or something, and sprayed the whole thing.
Yeah, on the terrain.
On the terrain, yeah.
Yeah, but that's normal.
That's normal. Oh, okay. I thought I was doing something lazy. And then Albert says, it's good to hear that you enjoy painting. I sadly don't have time to do it at the moment, so maybe I should try that.
Torben obviously would paint his terrain with a single strand of cat hair.
Albert says, my grey pile of shame is ever growing.
From a left-handed cat from Madagascar. But
okay.
Normal people don't do that.
Okay, another toy. We have had something similar to this. I just have to blow it up. There it is, loading. This one I've seen quite similar to. This is also made of wood. This is there's some other horse shapes as well, but they've also found these in metal to use as a weight. Was it silver? Maybe, I don't know. To use it as a weight because, like, to try to figure out how, when you're doing commerce anyway, then you would need to know. But this one, we've had something similar to it before. We didn't have that we've had made in the shop. Somebody else was making them, but they were painted and didn't have this little eye shape and such. But I think I would love to see Runa make some of these, and they're not. I mean, they're like this thick, so it's not too thick. It wouldn't break that easily either. But do you know about that horse?
No.
Anything about that one?
Not specifically.
No, but that would be a toy. That would be good to try, I think. Torben says, not Madagascar, Colombia. Always use Colombian cats for far more mellow. You're not kidding, man. That Siamese thing. Holy crap. We're looking it up going, okay, it can't be this. No. They are actually a chatty race. So, fortunately, Karl likes annoying chatty people.
Oh, you should have seen her yesterday.
Oh. Ah! Yes. Okay, she's got a new trait. She's not whining.
No.
And she was just doing it now a minute ago. I don't know if you noticed it, but...
No, she was chasing Fuzzy around, which is why she was running now. But she was doing hot laps. She goes out and looks at the kitchen. Then she decides that the kitchen isn't good enough for her, so she turns back, goes up on the couch right next to Karin, walks over my lap and goes back to the kitchen. And I'm sure she did it 100 times.
And she stops in the doorway of the kitchen. She just barely goes in, stops there, does this. and then goes back and does it again, like she's been reset. It's like a gift that keeps.
Yeah. And I'm sure she did it 100 times in a
Oh,
row.
easily, like at least through 7 episodes of Dexter.
And when she gets tired, she kind of rests on my lap for like 30 seconds, and then it's off again.
There's a wooden sword too, if I remember correctly, says Albert. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe I've seen that one. I don't know if I have a picture of
I think
that.
there is more than one, but
Yeah, we do make wooden swords for the shop though, but they're not
the thing with wooden swords is that they might be toys, but they might also be training equipment.
training weapons. Yeah. So we have those in the village for kids to kill each other with, but also we do have them for sale. But we make those. That is a modern-looking sword. Well, Viking inspired. Radisby says, I'm guessing Viking Age toys is why Dalahester is a thing. Oh, yeah! No, that would be good. Okay, so if you don't know what a Dalahest is, it's a Swedish horse thing. Dalahest. And they're decorated. Hest, there we go. Dalahester from Dala, Sweden. Or is it Dalarna, Sweden? Now that I think about it. But, no, it's from Dalarna.
It's the most Swedish souvenir in existence.
Oh, yeah, no, huge, yeah. Most of them are, I would say, most of them are red, but there are some blue versions as well. Just Google up Dala. It looks like Dale, and then Hest, H-E-S. Well, you could just do horse. Dala horse or a Dale horse.
That's actually a breed of horse, so you might find the breed of horse instead.
Maybe, let's try. Dale, as in Dala. Horse. Shit. Okay. You have to spell Hest. H-E-S-T. D-A-L-E. Dala. And then Hest. H-E-S-T. Which is not exactly the correct spelling in the Swedish, but it'll hit. Because there's a letter in there that's not not English. And then you'll see the Dala Hest. Actually, there's a Wikipedia on there. There's one. Dala. They're spelling it D-A-L-A, by the way. Wasn't expecting that. And then it's not to be confused with Durlahest. Now I have to look that one up.
That's the breed.
That's the breed, Dol Gudbrandsdal. That's Norwegian.
Yeah.
But Dalahest, if you can do the A with 2 dots over it instead of E. Dalahest. Oh, geez, my computer doesn't want to do that letter either. Ah, it comes to the same. But I will throw that in the link. But it reminds me, yeah, it is from Dollar now. Okay, I did remember that correctly then. But yeah, that toy does remind me a lot of that. Anne Rose says, I recently saw a post of a find of a pig toy. Do you know about that one? I would love to see. I would love to see that one if you find it. Let's see if I find another picture here. Because, oh yeah. This one is something we can do. I would, it's a top. But I know we have a guy that makes these on a dryer machine. What's a dryer machine? A turn? A lathe. It's on a lathe anyway, and they make one out, so it's just one piece. This one is actually 2 pieces. You can see the top is put into the base. But I did not realize that tops, or spinner, it's like a spinner, top spinner anyways, from the Viking Age. I didn't realize that they had found one.
It's probably much older.
And that one's from Vetenskapsmuseet, or the... I did not know it was much older than that, but those we should definitely have made. We can get the... Trygve Mikstu was making them before. My kids have some that it's split like that on the side, the way that is in the picture. Sometimes because the wood, if it isn't completely dried before carving, it'll split, I think.
There is a story from one of the sagas.
Yeah?
I don't think it is. It's about Harald Harade. But I don't think it is in his saga. It is in his father's saga or somewhere else.
What do you call that in Norwegian? The top. We call it a top.
No idea.
Oh, anyway, I'll look it up.
And it's about him showing off his farm and his kids to some other friend or some other dude. And then he comes over his kids playing in the forest or in the right outside of the farm. And as the story goes, the oldest son is playing with... He's built a lot of houses out of little sticks. And his father walks up to him and says, "What are you playing, boy?" And he says, "No, I'm playing that there lives people in all of these houses, and they all respect me, and I'm the most powerful man in the land." And he says, "Okay, that's a good game." Then he walks up to the middle kid, and he has made all these little animals out of pine cones. And he says, "Okay, what are you playing, kid?" "I'm playing that I own all this cattle, and I am the richest man in the land." And his father says, "Okay, that's a good game." And then he walks on to his youngest son, little Harald, later Harada. And he has made a lot of little boats out of birch bark with little leaves for sails, and he's playing on a paddle. And his father is asking, "Okay, what game are you playing?" "No, I'm playing that I own all of these ships, and they're full of warriors that are loyal to me. And we are going into the land to take all of his houses and all of his cattle." And his father basically goes, "I think I know which kid is going to inherit me."
I like that. That's,
But I don't remember exactly where I read it, but it is it's
that would be
either
cool.
part of the saga of Harald Harada, or it is what do you call it when it's not canon?
By the way, Reduce says nowadays most of the Dala hests are red. Yeah, but I don't think they would have been a standardized color back in the day. I didn't know that. I've only usually seen them in like white with blue, or blue with red and yellow. I mean, only those three colors though. Or then of course red. Lucas says possibly the red pigment is a byproduct of the mine in Dalarna, which was in operation since the end of the Viking Age. I did not know that. Although they probably use a different red pigment these days. No red dye number 5, the candy one from. Okay, never mind. You never heard of red dye number 5, the big scare in candy? All of a sudden, the red Skittles and the red M&Ms had to be removed.
No.
Oh, there's a thing about that. Red dye number 5 banned. These are food types the FDA wants to phase out, and then let's see if you can get it. Red dye number 40, yellow number 5, yellow number 6, blue number 1, blue number 2, green number 3. I don't know. Anyway, it was a big scare, so they immediately removed all the red candies off the shelf. So for a long time, M&Ms didn't have any red ones, and Skittles didn't have red.
Yeah, no, I'm not familiar with this.
That's a thing. I'm a child of the 80s, well, 70s. Okay, then there's another toy here. Oh, by the way, there's some more comment on the toys. Robert says, I'm pretty sure there are finds of spinning tops from at least as far back as the Roman period.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah? Did you see any when you were in Pompeii?
No,
Which
but
isn't close to... But anyway, yeah? And Rodisby says, not saying that they couldn't be red, but that they could be any color back in the day, especially most antique ones I've seen have been blue, white, or black. Oh, I didn't. It's black. I don't think I've ever seen a single red antique one, so that might be like a new thing. And then Lucas adds that the mine was shut down in the 70s, if I remember correctly. Okay, new toy. I think I had one more picture. This one is, yeah, I saved the best for last. I did not realize that... I mean, I guess they would have. Okay, so you have the game Knotliker, and that's played with a ball. That has a ball, but I always just thought maybe it was like a wool ball, felted ball or something. But no, check this thing out. It's leather, and then the shape of it is kind of, I don't know, like the two circles that are on the end, and then there's a strip going around the middle. But because of the way it's stuffed, that the circles on the end kind of fill out, and it becomes a ball. But yeah, that is something we could have made.
yeah.
Or hand sew, but and then it probably wouldn't be as expensive as other stuff, because a lot of handcrafted stuff
I
it just
suspect
costs
the
too much.
original had a hard wooden core.
Yeah, if it's for Knotliker, or do you think this one would have? I don't know if this is for Knotliker, if the kids, if they beat each other in the head with it, or if they just.
They are not. They are not very much into HMS when it comes to kids games.
Do you want to explain what HMS is in English?
Helse, miljø, sikkerhet.
Yeah, health and environmental security. It's an organization for keeping everything safe.
It's basically a concept. It's not exactly.
Radisby says antique tennis ball. But this is these are from the. It said on the bottom of that one as well. Vetenskap Museum. Museetmen. I mean, it's in Trondheim, NTNU. So that's I don't know if they were Norwegian finds or if that's just where they're located, but let's see if they had anything else regarding Viking Age toy. Antique tennis ball, says Radisby. I guess they wouldn't bounce very much. Oh, and then Max is here, by the way, making a pair of Jura Louis Starry Miss. I have to look that up. Mittens. Jura Louis Starry mittens. Oh, those are quite. I have a pair like these. I've been using them for Viking, but they're obviously not Viking. But they kind of fit. If you're talking about these leather ones, I need a bigger picture of it. Something like this really expensive one here in the middle. Oops, oh, there we go. Better yet. Something like that. Where the thumb is a bit like one piece. I've made a couple of those in leather, and by the way, when I went to see how much it would cost to make one from scratch, holy crap. So I might have the wrong mittens, but anyway, I had to look and see what they were. But good on you. There's a lot of people that are asking for mittens these days. I'm using Finnish 2+2 with F2, and later today I'm going to buy a pound of love yarn in the color pumpkin spice. That's a pound of love right there. Any yarn in pumpkin spice is a pound of love. Oh, are you watching the cats?
Yeah.
She looked like she was going to pounce on them, but she didn't.
I suspect she is starting her routine now. Let's see how quickly she comes back from the kitchen.
She just kind of stops, looks in the kitchen, and she's like, nope, and then she comes back out again. Yep. Yeah, she is. She's doing her routine again. So I looked this one up. Could be stress. I don't think she's stressed, so it could be bored. That's possible, considering she is actually, she was an outdoor cat. Nope, she's not doing the full round, though.
No, and she found Silly. Silly is breaking her routine, which is good.
Welcome to Norwegian bureaucracy, or how the heck you spell it. Torben says, I have to take HMS classes to use my own tools that I bought years ago because now I'm a farmer. I'm also looking for a person who can teach me how to drive my own car. That's cute. Oh, actually, the Nalbinding versions are from the Finnish Iron Age. I think maybe it's the other one with the base on it. The mitten here, running low on battery. Let's try this again. Loose starry mittens. And then there was another image that I recognize with Nalbinding. Let's see. Comes up with Latvia mittens too, by the way. Sure enough, I can't find one, but it was like a panel on the cuff here as well. I could probably find them up on Pinterest. Let's see. So on Pinterest, once upon a time when I found out someone else was going to have the same name as me, long story, don't bother, I decided to put a lot of my stuff up on Pinterest because I had this name first. And then if you go on to Karin Beam or Karl, it looks like Karin Beam with an I, on Pinterest, you can see I have a Nalbinding board and everything is sorted. There's one for the chat blog, which I have to update. One for section of bags and cozies, blankets, rugs and surfaces, hats and headwear, hoods and cowls, mittens and gloves, miscellaneous, shawls and scarves. There's a nice picture of Karl in there. Skirts and leggings, socks and slippers.
She's doing it again.
Sweaters, yes she is. Sweaters and tops, she's going around. Details and finishing, techniques, tips and stitches, needles and accessories, and billum are the categories that I have on Pinterest. You can kind of see there. And you can click on them to get the ideas, and I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of mittens that look kind of what I was thinking here, at least a couple. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Oh, sure. I was positive there was one. Oh, I can't see it. But I see a lot of my stuff on there. What a shock. I'll get there. There's one. I know. I was thinking kind of like these, this middle one, this bunad mitten. Would that fit kind of the thing? Only maybe the cuff might have been, the cuff may have been decorated as well. Or these bunad mittens. This one too is also amazing. This white one. Or here. There it is. Okay. Is that the kind of mitten you were thinking of? Those would be really cool as well, but they're kind of, it's like a piece of history, those things. These ones are from Norway, actually. But anyway, it sounds like a fun project. Actually, the Nalbinding version is from Finnish Iron Age, said Max. PJ says, my main knitting project at the moment is a knee warmer for my arthritic knee. I had to make one of those once. I didn't know quite how to do it. I had a friend of mine, Lake Troll, and he had a sore knee, so I had to make it so it was like a full cover on the outside of the knee, but on the inside there was like space so that it would not overheat in the cuff when he was using, or in the crook of his knee when he was using it. But it was only covered on that side, so like a leg warmer with a gap, and then another. I don't even know if I have a picture of that, but I'm kind of curious. Are you going all the way around? I forgot about that. That was something I made like 10 years ago, back when I was posting regularly on Ravelry. I can show you a picture of what that looks like too, if I can find it. We're gonna go pretty quick here, Karl. There. So that's what that is in that picture, if you can see it. There's like a gap on the inside because he didn't want the inside of his knee, or the backside of his knee anyway, to be all sweaty. So it was supposed to have an opening there. Oh no, this is elbow warmer. Never mind, it wasn't for his knee, it was for his elbow. But yeah, and for a games god, I called it because that's what his job was. He did Viking games, but he didn't want it to be. Anyway, that was an idea, but that was tricky to kind of go around, make an opening like that didn't kind of rip open. Karl, come say goodbye, Karl. Goodbye. I'm hoping to have a space to slide in a mini hot water bottle. Oh, like a pocket kind of thing. And the base is made with red and yellow done in spiral with with 2 or 1 needle, says Max, by the way, back on the, oh, like a blue cuff. Okay. For the mitten. That would be cool to see. Okay, no, before I go, because we've been on too long, I did promise to show you the Fåberg stitch, which is the stitch of the month. And I did have a little bit more needle binding done in my stash busting. I made this one I showed you last week. This is one piece of fuzzy yarn, and this brown to the white was one yarn. But this is that one thick one version of a very fuzzy yarn, and then I used another one of the green. This is where did I have it here? This yarn. It's just to tie it in. But this is also something I was going to show too. You'll notice this pouch does not have any holes, no eye holes in it, because I used to do that and then I just stopped doing it because I realized I didn't need to do it anymore. The holes between the stitches are big enough. So you fold it, or like this, you fold it like that. If you want to do a square fold or an envelope fold, so like that, and then you stab, let's see, through the sandwich on one side, pull through, and then through the sandwich on the other side there. And that's how you get that square fold. But yeah, it didn't need it. It's just tight enough. And then if I tie a knot, I forgot to show what I was going to do, and then I'll show the Fåberg stitch, and then we gotta go. Karl and I are reliving Dexter. We watched New Blood and we watched Resurrection, and now we're rewatching the Dexter series to kind of get the complete story. Anyway, so that is another.
New blood sucked horribly.
New blood sucked horribly, he said. No, it was nice to have the the main storyline kind of told, but the writing was 10 times lazier than the original. No, I think between that and the hat and the mohair hat, that's as far as I got. So I guess I wasn't productive. Okay, and then Fåberg stitch. So Fåberg is a bit like Mommen. Let's see, there, and then we tip. It's a little bit like Mommen. I ran out of yarn here. I should have attached new yarn before we started. Oh, I didn't realize your hat was inside out too. I'm a knob. I do that to keep the cat hair off of it. Sorry, all this time I'm showing you Karl's yarn. Karl's hat. That's the right stitch. I noticed. I'm sure you noticed the difference immediately. Not really. In this yarn, it's kind of not easy to see. Anyway. But because I'm working bottom up, the stitch is actually going this way. So this is Fåberg stitch. Take out a couple here. I see Zilly's climbing the shelves again.
That's the wood stack.
Okay, so Fåberg, you have 2 on your thumb. The end 2 stitches are on your loops are on your thumb, and you're using 1 behind. So you have the yarn that goes forward. Loop 1 and loop 2 are on your thumb, and the 3rd loop is the one that you're going away from you. Let's see. So I put these back on, tighten up. So I'm using F1, which is 1 new loop instead of F2, which is what I did on the white hat from a couple weeks ago. So F1, because it will take the 3rd loop away from you, turn and go under the 1st and the 2nd loop, and then under the working yarn. It helps to keep the needle threaded and pull through. There. Take off the old one. So they got 2, the new one and the 2nd one. F1. Take the 3rd loop away from you, turn and go forward under the 1st and the 2nd loop and the leader yarn. And that is the Fåberg stitch. There, one more. F1, 3rd loop away, turn and go under the 1st and 2nd loop and the leader yarn. Pull through. Ta-da! So that's the stitch of the month. This is the last time we're doing Fåberg. Next week is going to be a new stitch. I'm leaning towards carboning unless my yarn doesn't agree with me because I have to work on my stash busting. So I might need to do that. Let's see. Rudisby says she's a very chatty catty because she's a Siamese. Laugh out loud. Apparently that's a thing, yeah. No, she's just a very vocal girl. PJ was says Albert. PJ was asking if the cat was still in heat.
No, she might be starting on a cycle, but I don't think so.
She could be, yeah. But if I would rather have her pacing or running circles in the house.
She hasn't been anywhere as low as she was on the famous Ukraina episode.
Ocarina. There she is. There she goes. She has no head. And her tail has a life of its own. Let's see. Keep the cat off the table here. I used to have a chatty catty furry purry blue point Siamese a very long time ago. Says okay. Says PJ. So yeah, no, I'm kind of leaning towards it's a thing with the Siamese. I did look up cats going around in circles, by the way, and there was some other diagnoses, which is obviously not what this cat has. I think they were literally talking about cats leaning to the right and walking around in a circle. This one, she's just doing hot laps. So, okay. But anyway, Karl, tomorrow we can try to be on a little bit earlier. 7 o'clock is obviously at the latest. No, not Karl. Next week. Next Saturday, we can come on again. But we'll try to be at 6:30. Which is a half an hour earlier than what I ended up pulling off today. Yeah. But 7 o'clock at the latest.
It's a little bit tricky because remember we are dependent on our transportation.
Yeah, we need to, and they have their things going on too, so
yeah,
they're not always ready to go right at because there's other things they got to deal with too, like kids and whatnot. But what are we gonna do next week now? I've showed needle binding for 2 weeks. We did all the Royal Armories. We'll have to find you another Christmas beer if possible, and maybe some more rampa. Did you eat that whole thing?
Yeah, wasn't I supposed to?
Good boy. Yeah. Any, what should we do next week, do you think?
I have no idea. Well,
Something indoors. Okay. We'll show you some more black snow and mountains and dark rivers. I'll think of something. Yeah. Okay. Miniature painting episode. I keep telling him this. Go ahead. What's your excuse? Why can't we do miniature painting on YouTube? He says that's no excuse, and there he is sitting sipping like bottles worth of gin while painting his.
Yeah, no, what little I have of eye-hand coordination is kind of needed for that.
Oh, okay. We'll think of something, Torben. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but then we'll see you next week. So thanks for hanging out. We'll be a little bit more organized next week, I think, and the cat will be quiet, I'm sure. And maybe Karl can do some more Christmas cooking like this one.
You are happily optimistic.
I'm mixing up people left and right. Let's see who else I can screw up. Lucas, thank you for showing us all your beautiful stuff. It was so nice to see, and it was so good to share because it's different than mine. I really like it. I really like to see it. You gave me some inspiration. I'm gonna check out the carpeting stitch. And Radispi, enjoy the social media boost. I'll fix it. I will fix it. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm such an idiot.